Hey guys, SableyeVGC here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing some set analysis. This one is going to be versus Mike D'Angelo, which was played for the PGL, which is just a team league we're both taking part of. Honestly, just Mike is a fantastic player, so definitely wanted to showcase this one. Unfortunately, we did have to play on Showdown, couldn't get the game on cart, but still worthy of a set to be analyzed, so let's just jump into things here. Yeah, so you guys saw the teams there, Lunadon versus Calyrex-Ice Palkia stuffs. And I just wanted to mix it up from my normal Kyogre stuffs, but as we see, we just both play pretty defensive. I didn't really want to get Trick Room up here. Actually, I'm going to slow it down. I think it's going to allow me to talk a little more. I didn't want Trick Room up right there. I felt going fake out Trick Room didn't really get me in any better of a position, so I just wanted to go for the Hydro Pump. Obviously, unfortunately, I do miss. And now we see Protect on Instant. And the Incineroar Protect, to me, allows me to almost guarantee that it's Joe's team in the back of my mind. So now I can keep that in the back of my mind, and if I ever curious on what the sets are, keep in mind that it might very well just be Joe's team from NAIC. So Grimmsnarl, unfortunately, just gonna get some screens up. I'm gonna have to just start getting some damage up, right? And that's the goal here, right? I need to start utilizing this Trick Room that I have. They do Parting Shot. I do have my Porygon 2 being able to sell Foul Play for a weakness policy if I need it. They go back into Instant, which is just a really, really nice play. And I do go straight for that Dynamax, and I do go straight for that policy. So they actually go Trick and give me a Lagging Tail, which thankfully doesn't take part this turn and only for the next turn, but it is super unfortunate to not have the Eviolite on me at this point. I do Quake the wrong slot. I was trying to hope the Incineroar would come in on that side instead, but very smart play just to leave get the Instant in for the correct slot there. Now I have zero reason. I don't know why I didn't just kill the Grimmsnarl there. I had zero reason not to. That was definitely a misplay on my end, I think. But Porygon 2 still sitting here, still getting the special defense boost. Nothing too crazy, and I do get massive Foul Play into Lunala. Unfortunately, because of the Reflect, I am unable to pick up that knockout. So there we go. There's the Instant cycling itself back in, and here's a free KO, right? I have the free KO, and I take the Grim. I feel like maybe I should have taken the Lunala there, but I think I Foul Played to take the Lunala, so I don't think I needed to. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fair, right? I mean, it was a good switch in from Mike, right? There's no doubt about that, right? Just trying to look this back. This is the first time I've actually watched this back myself, so I'm trying to just go over, which is why I like the in-game stuff better, because I can actually have time to think. But they have that late game Dynamax now, which is super spooky. There's the Max Quake, and I thought for sure Mike was gonna double up the P2 and take the knockout there. They do crit the Instant, which is a little unfortunate, but more importantly, P2 is alive, able to reset the Trick Room. Obviously, with the Lagging Tail, I am moving last, which is a little shaky, but we're going to get the Parting Shot up. I'm going to go back into Palkia here, and this is where I think I lost the game, because Flare Blitz comes out and actually kills me. I know I didn't have Eviolite, but I figured at -1, Incineroar wasn't going to be able to pick up that knockout, so losing my P2 right there is super, super unfortunate. Take big damage on Palkia now, and this Groudon is just doing nothing but getting boosted, which is very, very spooky for me. So we're in a spot, though, where we actually have high horsepower, able to kill the Instant slot, and Lunala can't switch in. So we get the free kill into that. Of course, they do have that Protect. That is... Honestly, Protect played such a vital role in this set, it's wild. Like, I don't know, you see Protect Instant, and you're like, huh, kind of wild, but it worked out really, really well for them here. So, like I said, high horsepower went into the Protect. And now it's one of those ones where I have to kill off Instant. So I go Flare Blitz and high horsepower, which I don't know why I blitzed the Instant. If anybody in chat or in comment section wants to tell me why I blitzed the Instant there for zero reason, let me know. And that actually is game ending too, because high horsepower would have killed the Lunala had it swapped in. So I had no reason to Flare Blitz here. Here I do play it safe. I go for the Throat Chop, and I'm going to talk about this turn a little bit just before we see how much damage it goes into the Groudon here. But my concept was that I trusted Calyrex. Right, I guess I'll let it play. I trusted Calyrex. I figured Lunala might have an outside shot at having Wide Guard. I didn't think it was going to, but there was still that opportunity. I don't think it had revealed Protect at that point. Yeah, no, it had revealed nothing at that point, right? So I didn't want to really just go Glacial Lance, kind of ignore the Lunala, let Groudon start taking knockouts, right? Because if I Lance and hit and double into Groudon, I don't get the KO if they Wide Guard, right? Wide Guard doesn't... If they click Wide Guard, I lose. So I had to kind of cover for that. So I figured if I Throat Chop, if they Wide Guard and I Throat Chop the Lunala, well then Lunala is gone, and then it's Calyrex versus Groudon, and that's game over. I also had the ability to think that, hey, Groudon would have just died to that Glacial Lance, but unfortunately I overestimated Calyrex, and with that now Trick Room being over, this is an easy W for Mike. Just pick off the one target that he needs to pick off. Should be a Moongeist Beam into the Rex, which is why I'm protecting, and I need to hope that I can dodge an attack. If I dodge an attack, I win, but Mike does connect that Stone Edge, and at this point Calyrex is not going to be able to pull this one out. I do still have the Palkia, but I mean, even switching out and sacking Palkia last turn wasn't... I guess I could have tried that, but I do get the Spatial Rend, and now it's basically a question of, can Palkia survive what Groudon goes for? Yeah, okay, but the game one there, I mean, a couple turns ago, right? Like right here, right here, or when I protect Calyrex, if I hard switch in Palkia, does that get me anywhere? I think this is something I want to go over, right? Because, realistically speaking, if I hard switch Instant out into Palkia, which I thought about doing, but I didn't think it gained me anything at the time. But looking back, if I go into Palkia here, Palkia probably lives whatever Groudon goes for. It was a Stone Edge, so let's say Palkia lives, right? Palkia lives very low health, but then the thing is the Lunala is faster than me. But I guess at that point... No, Groudon's faster than the Palkia too. Was Groudon faster than... If Groudon's faster than Palkia, I also still lose. So we'll find out right here. No, I think Palkia's faster, right? Yeah, so I win. So I would have won had I switched out the Instant, because Palkia would have survived. Although I can't protect Palkia. So what I do at that point though... I don't know if I straight up win that, because Lunala is forced to take the Calyrex. So Lunala would have taken the Calyrex there. Palkia would have been on, like, let's say 10 HP. I would have had Palkia kill Groudon. Palkia Instant on the field should be able to deal with the 19% HP Lunala, right? Because that would force the single target Lunala versus what I have in the back. Yeah, protect and switching into Palkia would have been better. But either way, let's jump into game 2. No real reason to keep this going for too long here, but we'll go back in here. And guys, just a phenomenal set. Like, anyways, Instant, Palkia. I have no reason to mix it up. They do switch things up with Lunala here, which is a tad bit spooky, but this is an easy call for the Meteor Beam. No real concern here. So Meteor Beam going into P2, and my concern right now is getting tricked with the eject button. I figured they'd want the screen up, so I get the free Eerie Impulse and just get some nice chip damage into the Grimmsnarl here. No complaints. Moongeist Beam, they're going to chip down my Palkia, which makes it quite spooky, but it's not my Dynamax target, so I'm alright with that. Hydro Pump, Grimmsnarl gone. Best thing I could have done. Now I don't have to worry about Trick lagging tail anymore. Huge for me. Palkia going to live the Moongeist Beam. Once more, Groudon of course going to come in, recycle my P2 because Lunala is useless there, and I should be able to get a free parting shot off that Groudon. Beautiful, and I believe I sacked Palkia. Okay, never mind, I did not sack Palkia. I take that back, that is not what I did. Either way, P2 is going to get a nice, very nice dodge right there. I mean, it was a -1 Groudon, so it was okay for the end of the day there, but they're going to actually max the Groudon, and this is what I wanted. Get the early Dynamax, let them out of screens. Instant can be on the field, they're going to parting shot. I don't care all that much. And at this point, it's a matter of if I can stall this out and have my max when it matters in Trick Room, it's just GG. So, they have to Quake the Instant here, and they're just going to give me a free Trick Room. I go Parting Shot onto Lunala just to hinder it off in case they tried to go for like a set up the Meteor Beam and stuff like that. So, Calyrex on the field, Lunala's going to Trick Room, and they Trick Room on my Trick Room, which is just, once again, a really nice play, right? So now I'm forced to pick up Palkia, sack Palkia, and go Trick Room back up. This one seems safe to me. They're not going to call it twice in a row. So this, to me, it was, I'm just going to get Trick Room back up again. You know? So now that we've got the Trick Room back up, we have Calyrex on the field. This is max Quake foul play myself. They do a very smart job of not switching an Instant and not letting it just go down, right? But between the Quake and the Groudon just being -2, Lunala not being able to hit me with anything, killing only does 16% there, so I'm still good. I still got a few turns left to Trick Room. They do have to switch the Instant out, but like I said, I just foul play that was a Lunala slot and Quake again into the Groudon because that slot needs to go down. It's probably AV. I have a free kill into that slot if that's where the Instant comes in. Zero reason for me not to Quake that slot. Instant has Protect here. I get the free recover. I could have called this and hit the Lunala, but it just didn't make sense to me. I mean, like ignoring the Incineroar made sense, right? Now at this point, it's a question of how much Moongeist Beams does he have. There's the Moongeist Beam into Calyrex. We are going to take that thanks to the Protect, and Trick Room goes back up. We did have those Trick Room mind games, right? But at this point, I felt comfortable just by having Porygon 2 in this endgame. Like, I didn't think I was ever going to really lose the endgame. And it looks like I mean, they actually did confirm with me afterwards that they were out of Moongeist Beams. So they could not have Moongeist Beamed Calyrex there. had they even had they wanted to, which I feel like would have been the best play to try for that KO. And honestly, it probably picks up. But Palkia pressure, kind of good, and it's going to work out for us there. So, like I said, I think the big differential there was getting rid of the Grimmsnarl, because it allowed me to just actually utilize my Trick Room. You know, it allowed me to utilize my Trick Room and actually take advantage of it. But we're gonna go back to their not game 1 lead. I thought they did for a second, but it's Groudon Grimmsnarl here, which is completely fair because Palkia doesn't really want to be here. Instant with the P-Blades isn't the greatest. Instant does take that super well parting shot off the Groudon, and I believe I just chipped down Grimmsnarl here. I believe that was my concept. Oh, I Trick Room. Never mind. I Trick Room. I don't even know what I'm doing. Anyways, in that point now, I'm bringing Instant back in because I don't want to catch the lagging tail on my Calyrex, because it's super important for Calyrex to be moving first in room. So Instant's going to eat that. We get a very helpful crit right there into that Incineroar as we put it down into what is probably Glacial Lance range as well. So Grimmsnarl is going to get party shotted back into my Calyrex right here. We've seen Spirit Break already, so I can just kind of chill. Know the Calyrex doesn't have to be scared of anything right now as long as that Grimmsnarl is useless. Palkia should go out into Instant. This should be a free Glacial Lance for me, I believe. Or did I Protect? I think I Glacial Lance because I brought, yeah. So my concept here was that I brought Glacial Lance. In fact, I'm going to pause it. Is that I brought Instant into the Calyrex slot the last time. And I figured Mike might read into the fact that I go back into Instant there again, because there's really no reason for me to leave the Calyrex on the field. So there was a lot of benefits for me. If they switched in Instant, Glacial Lance picks up the KO, thanks to the crit from earlier, which is step 1, which is why I love that turn so much. You also have the opportunity that, hey, they've switched in Instant last time, they're not going to go for the trick lagging tail again, so I have that capability as well with the Glacial, just by clicking Lance there. And honestly, it just hits the ground on hard if they decide to stay in there as well. So like, it just seemed like the right play. The scary part though is now I don't have a Dynamax target because I really can't consistently max the Calyrex. And the scarier part is that they brought Charizard. Anyways, Reflect goes up from there, and I am going to party shot off the Zard and go into my P2. And I believe they just take out the Calyrex while they can, because if I would have tried the Dynamax there, it would not have worked out for me. I mean, I could have maybe. So if I parting shot the Zard, does Max Calyrex survive and kill the Zard in exchange? Quite possibly, but either way, Zard's going to be on the field. They're going to Airstream. Thanks to that parting shot, Instant is actually going to survive. But the problem now is I do not have a max. I have, what, 14 HP, 14% HP Palkia. I do get the Trick Room back up. And here's one of those ones where we're going to pause it right here. I do decide to max the Porygon 2. It is my healthiest Pokemon I have right now. And if I can go max Darkness into Hydro Pump, we take out Charizard. It's one of those things where I have to call what Groudon wants to do. Because there's an option for me to max Palkia and try to Geyser, I felt that they were going to switch out of Groudon, or that they weren't going to really target me with Groudon. So I felt that this was a prime opportunity for me to be able to get into Charizard here and take it out. So we're going to be able to successfully go for that big ol' max Darkness here into the Zard. Obviously not a lot of damage, but the defense drop is huge, because that in the sun allows Palkia to pick up the knockout on that Zard behind without light screen. And at this point, it's a question of how does P2 win this game. We have the Grimmsnarl. We know it's probably going to be faster than my min speed Instant, so in Trick Room, Instant's going to go first. We double into the Grimmsnarl. We do manage to take up that KO. That crit, I don't know if it mattered. It's a 7% HP Grim. It could have very well mattered. I don't know. I know it would have been super close, but either way, I do get that successful max guard. I didn't want to take too much damage and risk an extra crit. Just wanted to, because I wanted to be able to dodge P-Blades, right? So that guard was just to stall out, make sure I get some health back, so I don't have to take 2 in a row. And I get Trick Room back up, start recovering, and it's a matter of finding the opportunities to foul play now without being in critical hit Precipice Blades range. They switch over to Fire Punch. Thankfully no burns or anything like that. We do start chipping away with foul plays. It is soon for me time to recover. There it is on that last turn of Trick Room. There's the P-Blades that's going to connect, and now I just reset the room because I have zero reason not to. Room gets reset. Foul play again, just chipping it down. It's all said and done for me at this point, unless somehow, for some reason, they get the critical hit on the P2, which makes it a little bit dicier. But I think at that point it was over regardless, unless I misplayed and let myself get into range of a critical hit, or if they crit me on the last turn of Trick Room, and then following into them getting another attack. So there was still opportunities there. The crit on the Groudon was super nice for me there. Just wrapped this game up a lot earlier, but just an absolutely fantastic set, right? Like, the switch up to Charizard game 3 for Mike was, I think, was definitely the correct call there, right? Lunala wasn't doing a whole lot. P2 was hindering it down quite a bit. And like, we just kind of, I don't know. It's one of those ones where I liked having the ability to pivot around. I'm one of those players that if you get me into a set where it's position based and we're gonna switch in and out, I don't know. I always feel comfortable in sets like that. Now the matchup might not be great, right? Like I think the matchup is super neutral here, but I do think it's in the Calyrex Palkia favor just because I have so many more tools to get into Trick Room and do pressure and pressure them more so than they have onto me. They do have pressure and they do have tools to pressure me. I just feel like this team has a little bit more to pressure that team, right? Especially with the foul play onto P2, the weakness policy, so it's not like they can hinder me off forever, right? It's just so many more tools on my end, I feel like, to actually take advantage of when I want to take advantage of things. But the lagging tail definitely made things interesting. So either way, absolutely fantastic set versus Mike right there. Yeah, with that, guys, I think we're going to call this one. I don't want to ramble on forever. I will be, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that statement. See what I mean? This is why I don't want to ramble on. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in a future video.